Happy New Year. It took some unbelievable time, but here's the wrap up. 2023 in a rhyme. Jeremy Renner had a crash and Jeremy's almost killed. Lula da Silva sworn as president of Brazil. Monterey Park shooting caused a casualty spike. Julian Sands, the actor, goes missing after his hike for killing Tyree Nichols. Memphis police were charged. Zelensky claims Russia is gonna start beefing hard. Lisa Marie Presley, what happened to pass, resulting from a surgery she had in the past. And Chinese spy balloon was seen, checked on, and shot down. LeBron James broke Kareem's record with shots now. Tom Brady retired, is at ease and peaceful, watching the Super Bowl where the Chiefs beat the Eagles. Nikki Haley will run, trying to bring in the votes. 59 migrants lost to sea by Italy coast. Palestinian shoots 2 Israelis and then it quickly turned to Israeli settlers having 200 buildings burned. Gas attacks hit mad Iranian girls. Russia pulls on Ukraine to try invading their world. Attorney Alex Murdaugh in court done with his life, found guilty for murdering his son and his wife. Some top secret documents were leaked, and as the time passed it was traced back to a chat that's linked to Minecraft. More than 1 million peeps of all the French would rage to protest the streets against the raising of the pension age. Saudi and Iran would put the shit they had aside, with China to assist to patch their diplomatic ties. Systematic strides has decided guy is relevant. Xi Jinping is 3rd term as China's president. Israelis protest Netanyahu because overall they're against his plan for judicial system overhaul. Japan and South Korea sitting down with intention to hold their first talk since 2011. Uganda's anti-gay bill is one of the strictest types, while Germany experienced one of its biggest strikes. CEO of TikTok is grilled by Congress, and Nashville shooting left kid life losses. Trump got indicted in Manhattan was madness, while Lance Riddick's unfortunate passing was tragic. The news was causing people to divide and be torn, and this is when news that rhyme has been born. 3 Democrats is facing ejection, expelled for protesting. Some would even say insurrection. And Donda University was sued for how it's ran there. They banned chairs and kids ate sushi with their hands bare. They even banned Holocaust lessons. Yeah, it isn't great. Adesanya beats Pereira and takes the middleweight. Bud Light bash for a version of cans with Dylan Mulvaney's face on it cause the person is trans. Another mass shooting happened that shook a bank out in Louisville. There was a few people injured but 4 of the few were killed. Dalai Lama's got heat for something he done. He kissed a young boy and asked the kid to suck on his tongue. While Nick Carter had the case he had to go through for alleged sexual assault of Melissa Schumann in '02. Round here Drake Bell's reportedly missing. Chris Tyson got slack on Twitter for the transition. Montana bans TikTok but caught up by some obstacles. Due to complications, Jamie Foxx was in the hospital. Moroccan soccer player's wife divorced him in the broad aim for half of everything, but everything was in his mom's name. A scammer tried to trick her mother out of some dollars, asking for ransom with AI that sounds like a daughter. An inmate died when he was left in his cell. Body found eaten by the bugs that infested the jail. Japan streets was hit with some smoke. A ban came at the campaign as the prime minister spoke. Bullets raining in Sudan like a monsoon. The army and paramilitaries were fighting all over Khartoum. Germany closed all the nuclear plants. By 2045 they want a carbon neutral stance. Gasolina holds a legacy as the first reggaeton song on the National Recording Registry. Arkansas would pass a law hoping the younger folks can listen. If you under 18, no socials without your folks' permission. The Fox and Dominion trial will start to go in rhythm for what Fox said when mentioning the voting system. Ex-Indian official got tried and grilled, convicted of kidnapping, was shot live and killed. Frank Ocean's comeback hype and get much torque. He came an hour late just to have his set cut short. A young Ralph Yarl survives getting shot in his top. The Akron police who killed Jalen Walker would walk. Chicago's teen takeover spilled all over town. Aaron Carter's cause of death has been revealed and homie drowned. The moment friends and family had left him alone. K-pop star Moonbin found dead in his home. Oklahoma commissioner resigns and quits his services after audio caught him while talking about lynching journalists. Florida passes law that's been due for a while. The death penalty for sexually abusing a child. Panic at Yemen event caused people to stampede. 80 died cause people raced out of there like the Grand Prix. BuzzFeed had to quit the game and close the news division. Paris synagogue bomber got his overdue conviction. Designer checked in, his mental ain't right. For some reason, homie exposed himself on a flight. Twitter to remove checks as someone shouting their tweets. Nate Diaz checks dude and chokes him out in the street. The hype for the Davis and the Garcia fight was getting hot. Davis wins in the 7th round with a liver shot. So as all the gamblers taking in the bets, quarterback Aaron Rodgers traded to the Jets. Edge Sheeran's in court cause Marvin Gaye's in his song. Kawhi Leonard's sister gets life for taking one on. In Praz work sweat, the FBI is informant, facing 22 years for trying to take some China endorsements. Don Lemon got fired, Tucker Carlson too. Jerry Springer passed, and sending prayers is all we can do. So did the broad accusing Emmett Till of whistling at her, which led to people taking, torturing, and lynching him after. We used drones for evacuation of Sudan to bring US citizens back to the safety of our land. As DeSantis getting Disney sued by the board, Zoe Zephyr suing for being removed from the floor. JP Morgan bought First Republic Bank and ranked up, while Vice Media does the opposite, going bankrupt. Deontay Wilder busted and charged for being with the Blick. Tiana Taylor hit the Met Gala and brought some chicken strips. All the late night talk shows didn't try to fight when they shut down right away cause the writer's strike. A woman's claiming Steven Tyler's sexually abusive and tries to use his memoir as the evidence to prove it. Putin claims assassination with drones are being attempted. Surgeon General warns of a loneliness epidemic. Jackson Mahomes' brother, a Patrick, spreading his savagery. He was arrested for aggravated sexual battery. 8 shot in Serbia, those dying were kids. Track star Tory Bowie passed and died in a crib. Homeless man choked to death on a train in New York. Trump accused of sexual assault by lady in court. Ed Sheeran won his case for the song that the man spit. Proud Boys arrested for involvement in Jan 6. A Thai woman tried to hide she was who cops were trying to find for murdering her friends for their money by using cyanide. Tina Turner passed. UC Davis had a mass stabbing. Kevin Costner gets divorced and surprise backstabbing. The WHO says that COVID's urgency resides. At the same time, director of the CDC resigns. Spindrill is forced to stop the site's operations and pay up 50 mil for copyright violations. A young teen broke a record popping his collar when he got 10 million in scholarship offers. Oakland A's announcer says the N-word and gets suspended. Hezbollah wasn't Russian, the man would get arrested. Trump was found liable for WHO claimed that he molested. Robert De Niro's 7th child is to be expected. George Santos in court charged for fraud and laundering. Tucker got a show when Twitter is where he'll launch it in. Lightfoot declared state of emergency in Pronto cause of all the migrants that's emerging in Chicago. Trump CNN town hall ain't hurt but help him. Daniel Penny charged for manslaughter and he turned himself in. Gaza launched mad missiles, popped them in the streets. Jamie Foxx's kid said he's been out the hospital for weeks. A young man arrested and confessed to killing Pop Smoke. John Moran suspended for flossing things you should not show. Brandon Johnson is the new mayor of Chi-Town. Across the pond, King Charles III gets a nice crown. Rudy is accused of being creep but trying to stunt, trying to get his aide to blow him while on speakerphone with Trump. Paparazzi took it far just to get up in a star's face, getting Meghan Markle and Harry all in a car chase. Ludacris gets his star on the Walk of Fame. The TikTok ban in Montana got sustained. Billy Graham passes, and so does Jim Brown. Canada fire starting to hit towns. Singapore ain't happy, but they had to proceed to hang the second person they would catch for trafficking weed. The G7 summit talk about helping Ukraine with money, military, and figuring new ways. JP Morgan and an ex-executive would get steam cause they getting sued for getting in bed with Epstein. A young girl dies being held at the border. Her mother claims she begged for help but personnel would ignore her. Jeff Bezos gets engaged. Ray Stevenson died. Brady meets with Raiders, now he owns a piece of the pie. The Colorado River seems that it's proceeding to dry, so 3 states have all agreed to try decreasing supply. And because the levels plundered, there's an arsenic rage. New York is going under cause of how much all of it weighs. Tim Scott will try for president and go in a race, while the first Arab woman win and goes into space. A man in a U-Haul preparing to break into the White House and crash into the barrier gates. A girl in Guyana burns down the place of her home, killing 19 kids for confiscating her phone. Due to alleged threats, the team feels fear, so Target takes down the LGBT themed gear. A paralyzed man walks again because of the devices stored inside him, connecting to his brain and his spinal cord. Kid made domestic call, his mom's in a mess, but when the cops pulled up, the kid was shot in his chest. A teen jumped overboard to be funny and stirred some laughter. After a while, he didn't return to the surface after. The Coast Guard searched, they doubled up and expanded, but had to stop the search cause they coming up empty-handed. The Taliban and Iran will clap hammers and mortars over the water rights at the Afghanistan border. Malaysia don't give pride stuff any time of day, raiding Swatch, confiscating anything with pride away. One of the Yellow Rangers opened up and showed a hand, admitting that when things were tough, Shorty opened OnlyFans. President Belarus opens options up wide, promising nukes to anyone who hop on their side. After After weeks of a mess leaving multiple set meetings, we finally agreed to a deal with the debt ceiling. Pac's Walk of Fame stars being made. Meanwhile, Danny Matheson's found guilty in rape retrial. Since it was slow at rap, Fetty Wap would switch gears. Caught up in the trap, convicted and getting 6 years. Al Pacino expected a child, and so did Jonah Hill. Shannon Sharp left undisputed for a doper deal. Biden said the debt deal had included the seat ban on any kind of help, like Biden's student relief plan. San Jose man goes on stabbing spree, stabbing 3, stole a car, running into people at a drastic speed. Trans speaker canceled as Montana bans drag read. Chelsea Mitchell suing for losing a trans athlete, claiming trans women and women's sports will have to go. There was also the loss and passing of Jackie O. Texas migrants flown seemingly to be passed down and left them right in front of a church somewhere in Sacktown. The Roots picnic had the Fugees reunite. Elon's brain chips can now test on humans if they like. FBI agent who was spying for the Russians just died in the maximum confinement he was stuck in. If you watch Bling Empire the show, rest in peace to Anna Shea, who would die from a stroke. Canada fires would spread and start affecting the states, and this would go on, affecting every breath that you take. Pete leaves Peter a message enraged in a clip, cause Daphne from Peter gave Pete Davidson shit. CNN CEO quits, drops it and goes. Trump indicted in a White House documents probe. Protesters fight from both sides when they collide fronts, as the school board is inside discussing Pride Month. Khalees and Bill Murray had rumors that they dated. A UFO was caught on camera shooting down in Vegas. The Unabomber found dead, he passed in a cell. In Philly, a bridge on 95 collapsed and it fell. Randy Cox got a settlement of millions, and cops can, cause they made him paralyzed from the back of a cop van. Hunter Biden's laptop photos were posted with drugs, a gun, and prostitutes the homie would post with. The Mayweather-Gotti fight turned into a brawl inside after John Gotti III gotten disqualified. Namor had sexual allegations he fought. Trans woman at the White House would take off their top. Treat Williams' bike crashes the way he died. Pat Sajak retires and he waves goodbye. Bill Cosby sued again from 9 more women. Johnny Depp donates to charity with wife court winnings. NBA Finals, McGregor accused of getting someone great. Ray Lewis's son was lost at 28. Skeet would crash into a house and they would charge him for it. Jordan sold majority stake in the Charlotte Hornets. Courtney and Travis said they having a baby. Beyond Wonderland stopped cause shots cracking is crazy. BB Rexha left the concert stage in pain to go cry, cause her face was hit when someone let their phone fly. Submarine that towards the Titanic has gone missing, and trying to find the people alive was a lost mission. Buster wins lifetime achievement for the flows he had. Some cities cool with serving chicken that were grown in labs, while the rest of us are pretty against it. Drake receives the key to the city of Memphis. At a show, someone throws their mom's ashes at Pink. She's confused on how to feel and what to actually think. Julian Sands confirmed dead, finding human remains like the submarine debris, which concluded the same. At a pride march, some get disgruntled by the feeling when they hear some people yelling that they coming for your children. Jaden Smith showing why the guy's eclectic. His mom had the family, tried some psychedelics. There were talks of a fight with Elon and Zuckerberg. Florida's permitless carrier set to come to term. Apple worth $3 trillion now, and stunningly, they became the most valued company. A boy shot in Paris, and this is when the riots would start. People protested the streets and started lighting up cars. Pete Davidson in rehab, Amanda Bynes is out. Word of De Niro's grandson losing his life was out. Logan Paul gets engaged, Lena do what it do with another dude, and Adam 22 would approve. Some white stuff apparently was found in the White House. Secret Service searched for the source but didn't find out. MF Doom death revealed the cause of what happened. New blood pressure medicine would cause a reaction. Tom Holland has admitted to issues with getting bent. Jonah Hill has been accused of kissing without consent. Larry Nassar, the gymnast cat, had a massive fail. Dude ain't like the crap he was yapping and had him stabbed in jail. Woman goes missing for closer to maybe 5 days after claiming that she saw a baby on the highway. Claiming she was taken, but a scam in the works. Before this thing she would search, taken and Amber alerts. The word was going round, and some apparently were telling. Houston woman in Dubai jailed apparently for yelling. Ariana gets divorced and dates Ethan with no shame. Sharks off Miami coast are feeding off cocaine. Taylor Swift's music now would come to one outcome: the female artist with the most #1 albums. In South Korea, the US had lost a soldier captured in North Korea when purposely crossing over, cause he wished to be disciplined after his claimed he's fighting Gigi Hadid released for weed in the Cayman Islands. A mother with a 3-year-old's wild hired a hitman to kill a 3-year-old child. Dwight Howard faced assault charges that he needed a beat, allegedly sexting with the guy agreeing to meet. Tony Bennett would pass on his day, and God bless Gilly the kid because his kid passes away. Minneapolis mayor loosens restrictions on psychedelics to ease up on enforcement with people who try to get it. Jamie Foxx made a vid, and when people looked and saw his tone, they said he was lighter, and they thought that Jamie Foxx was cloned. Healy kissed a dude on stage in Malaysia run town. Because of that, the show and the stage was shut down. Ronnie James in cardiac arrest after jump shots. Tori Kelly was in the hospital for some blood clots. Aaron Hernandez's brother had a botched plot, allegedly planned some school shootings, but he got caught. Sinead O'Connor had died at 56. Twitter switched to X, and there was a glitch with Mitch. The drug dealers that sold to Michael K. Williams was sentenced for spreading the drugs that ends up killing him. As Lizzo does a thing on stages and plays with long flutes, her dancers claiming sexual assault in a lawsuit. Gunman at a school trying to hurt him for sure, but he couldn't even get in cause there's security door. Kai Cenat arrested for causing havoc one day. Mark Margolis from Breaking Bad passes away. Expelled Tennessee reps reclaim their seats. M. Dis, Melly Mel, and the game on beat. Nate Diaz would lose to Jake Paul in a boxing match. Riverfront brawl happened when the captain tossed his hat. Asian cop in George Floyd's death is doing time here. He's gotten tried and the guy is doing 5 years. Tory Lane's got 10. Eminem got disrespected. Wayne Brady's pansexual. Sierra says she's pregnant. Sandra Bullock's long-term partner dies from ALS. Wildfires hit Hawaii. Lil Tay would fake a death. Jigga's done with 40-40 closing the place. Virgin Galactic launches first tour into space. Hip-hop would hit 50. We celebrate innovation. Tyrese suing Home Depot for discrimination. Mask mobs of teens are hitting the bigger shops. Employees can't do nothing, so they would just sit and watch. Melly Mel should have taken his time with his rap attack. His Eminem diss was labeled this year's wackest track. Melly Mel admits that he oughta came with harder game, while Dwayne Wade accepts and enters the Hall of Fame. False shots at Dirk show got people to move. Then I peeped in the news that R.I.P. to Magoo. Montana youth would try to take the fight and wins the climate case. For environmental rights the state would try to violate. Armenians got news of a war that made the heart stop. Protesters bring up what's happening out in Artsakh. Biden offers $700 aid to Maui victims. Because of that, there's many folks that's really sour with him. Doja Cat lost followers and split with her fans. And Britney Spears went ahead and split with a man. And Trump would skip debate with the GOP for other engagements, such as interview on screen with Tucker. A shopkeeper faced with anger, a random guy had, then was shot and killed cause the store displayed a pride flag. Georgia sheriff in cuffs for trying to cuff assets, and pleads guilty cause he was groping on Judge Hatchett. A teen took her boyfriends and another life, ending it with the car. Now she faced a couple life sentences. Rihanna and ASAP welcomes baby number 2. Sha'Carri Richardson makes history the way she'd run it through. Even though wildfires in Hawaii has ceased, but 18 was found dead from wildfire in Greece after turning themselves in. Giuliani and Trump got their pictures posted on the net that came from their mugshot. Wagner Group chief died, his plane would crash. People suspect Putin is to blame for that, as he sends condolences to the mercenary leader's fam. Fukushima water to finally be released is planned. Charleston White maces his opponent at the face-off. The opponent covers his face and tries to take off. Carlos Santana faces heat, trying to take a stand. A woman is a woman, but they saying that is anti-trans. Bob Barker from The Price is Right dies at 99. Not the one that worked with prisons, been a while since guy had died. Soccer press gives female player a kiss and got heat. It wasn't something that the player was with. France to ban students from wearing a abaya drip. Taliban stopped girls from leaving Afghanistan for their scholarships. Eminem's telling Vivek Ramaswamy to please stop rapping to his music. Ramaswamy agreed. 2 Ugandan men have been arrested and set to face the gay law that can have them sentenced to death. McConnell in Kentucky, and while speaking at the podium, he gives the blank stare and apparently homie froze again. 50 Cent threw his mic and targets the crowd, hitting a host who hits the closest hospital found. Child abuse is what a YouTuber has to elude when a YouTuber's kid escaped to neighbors asking for food. Smash Mouth lead singer pass while trying to fight the fight. Drew Barrymore bashed for not supporting writers' strike. Danny Masterson got 30 30 years in a cell to rot for raping 2 women, and he's under a wellness watch. New Mexico's carry rights initially suspended. People disagree, even those who's typically against it. The automotive union went and started a strike. Morocco earthquake cost thousands and losses of life, as more bodies are discovered sitting in mud. Thousands more perish due to the Libya flood. And Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas done got split. Chris Evans and Albert Baptista done got hitched. A cyber attack hit MGM and things would bug out. Because of this hack, the establishment had to shut down. UFC and WWE would work a lot to finally announce they're going public with the merger stock. Mexico's Congress shown a pair of assortments, 1,000-year-old mummified alien corpses. Hunter gets gun charged since he dropped the agreement. GOP would target Biden trying to start his impeachment. And folks in Congress are in a rut now, as they all discuss on ways to prevent a shutdown. And Hugh Jackman is announcing separation from his wife's due, while Jeezy files for divorce from Dee Miinor too. Russell Brand has been accused of rape and he denies. Hassan Minaj's racist story made up as a lie. North Korea went to Russia for weapons to own and left with gifts like a bulletproof vest and some drones. Lauren Boebert caught on camera getting touchy at a show, and also vaping, so security had said she had to go. The US to unfreeze 6 billion guap for Iran so they can do a prisoner swap. Armenia and Azerbaijan's fire will cease, so a certain region will be sacrificed for their peace. New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez and his wife would be indicted for slime, taking gold in the crime of bribery. Kelsey rents restaurant for Swift like a queen. Crazy Bone in hospital in bad condition it seemed, but at the time he was feeling right with some treatment. Writers Guild finally has some kind of agreement. Dianne Feinstein is another person that's lost. Keefe D gets arrested for the murder of Pac. Pakistan gets 2 self-deletion bombings, seeing grief. A 16 scene leaving 57 peeps deceased. YouTuber shot thinking that he's too funny. At one point all phones go off at 2:20. Congressman pulls fire alarm in Capitol Hill to stop a shutdown. The stopgap was passed as a bill, and student loan payments were back to collecting, and Paris bed bugs were said to be actively spreading. There's word that the ex-CEO of Abercrombie, accused of exploiting some fellas up at their parties, Newsom needs replacement in the seat and he gets it. LaFonza Butler takes Feinstein's seat in the Senate. Like the other industries, they inserting a fight. Thousands of Kaiser Permanente workers on strike, and it's weird how Toys R Us shift gears to open up after being bankrupt for close to 6 years. Surprise attack from Hamas with their arms cost 150 lives and about 1,000 were harmed. So Israel would bounce back and coming out to respond, declaring war now, and Palestine towers were bombed. Footage of a festival where Hamas has invaded. People were shot and killed and there were hostages taken. It's dividing our friends time and again. They'd fight then cease fire and start the fire again. Afghanistan's earthquake takes many peeps' lives. Jailed Iranian activist wins Nobel Peace Prize. California's first state to bring and achieve a ban on 4 additives that's been linked to disease. RFK raised millies for his campaign at his highs. India would get same-sex marriage denied. Jada said her and Will been split for a while. They weren't together when Will hit Chris with the foul. And Alex Jones still has to go and hit the bank up and can't hide behind the protection of being bankrupt. Tensions would hit the sea when a Chinese ship hits a ship from the Philippines, some saying willingly. DJ Envy would deal with great trouble, accused of scamming people in his real estate hustle. Mass shooting in Maine, 22 had been lost, 60 people injured, and they said the shooters at large. In entertainment, many fans and even friends are sad. Matthew Perry or Chandler from Friends is passed. His aide tries to get in, bullets and even bombs soar. Yemen vowed to fight against Israel and Hamas war. Protesting from both sides would bring a bunch of will to fight, as Israel protester has been punched and killed. Portland teachers strike cause they feel like they should have more, and eventually they got the deal that they would ask for. Keith Lee is somebody many foodies would listen to. ATL folks got angry at him for his reviews. Elon needs a volunteer to get in the game to try and install the Neuralink chip in their brain. Omegle closes down and Trump's sister has died. Folks at the riverfront brawl will be eventually tried, while the US prosecutors nailed connected sets. The prostitution ring with politicians, lawyers, and some tech execs. Actors are back in effect after the SAG fight. they would celebrate as they finally end the SAG strike. In LA, a fire on the 10 has been causing mad traffic. It's claimed there was intentional arson. Andre 3000 drops an album with his flute. No bars at all, some think the album was a fluke. Reports of mysterious dog illness was going round. Alec Baldwin back in court and there's a chance he's going down. Big companies stop running their Twitter ads. Elon says he can't be persuaded or swayed with a bag. Cassie suing Diddy for craziest allegations, and Diddy pays her right away for the accusations. Since it's sexual things and various assaults, he temporarily steps down as chairman of Revolt. And just for allegations, even if he ain't a part of it, Yemeni rebels are now hijacking some cargo ships. Javier Milei wins Argentina election. An extreme libertarian who was the peep selection. Jimmy Carter goes and shows love to his wife he lost. Sam Altman left OpenAI for Microsoft. Snoop quit smoking as a joke and troll to throw promo to promote a smokeless stove. And T.I.'s affordable apartment homes are built in with 25 free units made for homeless children. Binance co-founder takes a step and preps out cause he plans to plead guilty in this case and step down. Russia wants to talk peace and might be done with wrecking. An apparent far-right leader wins in Dutch election. On Rainbow Bridge, a car explosion imposed the United States-Canadian border to close. Cuba Gooding Jr., Marcellus Wiley, and Axl Rose face sexual assault lawsuits that has arose. Trey Songz too, Jamie Foxx and Jimmy Iovine. Kids stabbed the Dublin riot was the biggest they seen. 3 Vermont Palestinians were targeted and bucked. The suspect that's in question has been caught and put in cuffs. Derek Chauvin been in prison and he's doing his time. He got shanked on the inside but dude will survive. Young Thug's lyrics are used against him in court. Giddy's minor tobacco had no effect on the court. George Santos expelled, Henry Kissinger dies. Russia bans LGBT activism alike. Back in LA, they got Macaulay Culkin's name finally installed in Hollywood's Walk of Fame. Indonesian volcano blowing violently would fly, killing several people that was climbing on its side. In the Red Sea, mad commercial vessels attacked. Spotify lays off 17% of their staff. Vanessa Hudgens gets married out in Mexico, and now their relationship supposedly is set in stone. Billie Eilish calls out Variety and lets them know they outed her by going both ways, but wants it left alone. Ashanti and Nelly expecting the first child together. Presidents of universities go through the wildest weather while they sit there and get grilled by Congress, cause anti-Semitism's what they filled their halls with. Guyana pushing back while confronting demands. Venezuela wants new map, taking some of their land. The staff at Washington Post are on strike for what they paying people. Ohio makes smoking weed for recreation legal. Selena Gomez dating Benny Blanco. Keanu Reeves is loved, but his place was getting robbed though. Andre Braugher has died at 61. Kate Micucci had cancer until they fixed the lung. Now she's cancer free and life can like restart for her. Billionaire wants to leave his fortune to his gardener. Iceland volcano erupts as a grave threat. Vatican approves to bless couples of the same sex. Jonathan Majors loses gigs after guilty verdict for assault of his ex. Even when the vid emerges, a drunk driver slams into Biden's motorcade. Got a DUI, arrested and had to go away. Earthquake in China kills hundreds, and his extreme judge orders to reveal the names involved with Epstein. With the 14th, Colorado and Maine got to clear the ballots of Trump and block off his name. India suspends 140 peeps in the parliament. A shooting popped off in Prague and 15 are gone from it. Vin Diesel sued for what's allegedly repulsive. His ex-assistant claims she was sexually assaulted. Yeah, you can see how he's seen as foolish or evil. Offers an apology to the Jewish and Hebrew. Lee Sun-kyun from Parasite has passed away. Kevin Hart files lawsuit against Tasha K. Creator of Glock dies. Gypsy Rose is freed from prison. North Korea preps for war for whatever reasons hidden. Offset and Cardi split, but New Year's Eve they hooked up cause Cardi B needed New Year's D. That's 2023 in this huge design. Like and comment and follow for more news that rhyme.